Thanks for joining me for Food and Wine Pairings. I'm Frances, and I'm so glad you're here. Now, I have a situation today that is something I've only done one other time in this series. I'm actually going to open the bottle of wine here on camera. I normally don't do that because I like to have the wine beforehand and taste it at different times of the day in terms of temperature. So right when I opened it and maybe a little bit later. But today I'm opening a bottle of wine that was given to me by my neighbor. She invited me over and said, listen, I have all this wine in the basement and my husband bought it. He's since passed. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with it. So I took a couple of bottles, and one of the bottles that I took was a 1994 Cab Franc from Napa Valley made by William Harrison. Now, this winery is still in existence. It's no place I'd ever heard of before, and I have no idea how this wine is going to be. So I wanted to open it on camera so that way we could share in either my excitement or horror together. So let me show you how the bottle looks. You can see this is exactly how I got it. The label's ripping. It's very dusty. I haven't done anything since I got it. She had it in her basement. Basements tend to be very temperature sturdy. I have wine that I store in my basement because it doesn't get too hot or too cold there. So the label, notwithstanding, the corks seem to be in good shape. So I think it's okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my handy dandy corkscrew, and we're going to open this up. And we're going to find out what's happening in here. Well, the first thing I can say is that the cork is ripping and it's coming completely apart. If you can see, it's like coming out in pieces right here. So that's not good news. Unfortunately, I don't have the kind of opener that you can use to wiggle it out. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do next, but I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to try to see if maybe some of the cork will come out. I mean, it's been falling apart. Just want to show you right there. I'm going to try it again. And if you could see this table I'm at, you'd see that it is covered. Oh, okay. So I just pushed the cork right into the bottle. That's not great. I'm going to have to get a little strainer so I can filter this to have a glass. Please hold. I'm back. I got a strainer. I didn't have a smaller one, so I'm just going to go ahead and strain some of this into the glass. If you can maybe see there, you can see the cork floating right on top. So that's never good. And there was a little bit of cork right there. Now, there is some additional sediment here, but that's okay. This bottle is more than 20 years old, so that's going to happen a lot. If you take a look in the glass, the color is kind of a dark ruby, and on the edges here, it is basically brown. So, excuse me, this is more like a brick red with brown. On the nose, it smells like alcohol, like right away I'm getting hit by alcohol, but I'm also getting a little forest floor, a little pine, a little bit of tobacco, and a little bit of leather. All right, now the real test. How does it taste? Okay, so right away, it's very astringent. It's really tough. I'm getting a little sideburn inside my mouth. There's a little vegetal taste way in the background. Overall, this is not great. I would not recommend this to anyone right now. But it was a fun experiment for today. So I just thought, hey, sometimes you have to try something that is outside of your comfort zone and that may or may not work. I'll be back with something that actually does work because this does not work. And I'm not really even sure if I'll be able to cook with this. It definitely is not going to pair with anything. Now, I guess I'm just going to pour it down the drain. But I say to you, adventure on, my friends. Cheers. Still a bad idea.